A bunch of unruly kids were just whining about wanting to ride the cable car, but little did they know, this would lead to a catastrophic disaster. As the cable car was halfway through its journey, it suddenly made a loud click and came to a stop in midair. The kids, terrified, quickly looked down below, but the next moment, they were completely stunned. The entire amusement park and the small town below had mysteriously plunged into a blackout. This meant that if the power didn't come back, they wouldn't be able to get down. In a desperate bid to survive, the cable car operator immediately called for help, but to their horror, the walkie-talkie had no signal. Before anyone could fully process what was happening, the electrical systems in the car malfunctioned. First, the walkie-talkie around the operator's neck went dead. Then the pacemaker inside him stopped working. Just when the kids were still in shock, the earphones and other electronic devices they were wearing suddenly exploded. With no other choice, they threw their devices aside. To make matters worse, a blaring siren went off inside the park. Its sound so deafening it made their heads ache. Fortunately, after a while, the siren stopped for no apparent reason. This strange alarm left the kids feeling unsettled, but they had no time to worry about it. The most urgent thing now was checking on the operator's condition. When they confirmed he had no heartbeat, they boldly lifted his shirt and discovered his heart had been completely charred. Without thinking twice, Adam started performing CPR, but it was pointless. After all, he was already dead. Then David, ever sharp, noticed something odd. There was no light visible in the town below. If it was a power failure, there should have been at least some car headlights visible. So he suspected that the siren might have been a signal for evacuation. This left the others confused. Evacuation? Are we about to go to war or something? One of them asked. Just as they were pondering this, David suddenly remembered that when they boarded the last cable car, some of the amusement park workers hadn't finished their shifts. He quickly opened the window of the cable car and began shouting for help, hoping someone below would hear him. But after shouting for what felt like forever, they received no response. Feeling the urgency, one of his friends suggested they deal with the operator's body, but David stopped them. "If we throw the operator out of the cable car, we'll definitely get into trouble," he said. Jimmy agreed, adding, "And if no one comes to rescue us soon, the operator might be our only source of food." Trying to prevent the others from panicking, Adam found a towel and covered the operator's face. The group settled into an uncomfortable silence, waiting for rescue. But as night fell, no one had come. The temperature inside the car started dropping rapidly. If they didn't find some heat, they might freeze to death. Frantically, they searched for anything that could provide warmth, but all they found were a few glow sticks. As they were figuring out how to signal for help, something terrifying happened. The towel on the operator's face twitched. The kids froze, thinking he might have come back to life. They were so scared they didn't dare stay in the car. David quickly reassured them, "Don't think like that. If he really did come back to life, he might turn into a zombie, like in the movies." They decided to find something to defend themselves with. David grabbed the fire extinguisher and walked toward the operator, but just as he did, the towel moved again. After a moment of panic, they realized it was just the wind from the ventilation system causing the towel to shift. With that, they finally calmed down. However, David couldn't hold it anymore and opened the cable car door to relieve himself. As cold air rushed in, the group finally started to calm down and began to discuss their next steps for survival. Adam suggested they tear off their clothes and tie them into a rope to slide down to the ground, but the others dismissed the idea as naive. "The ground is at least 70 meters below us. Using clothes as a rope is impossible," they pointed out. Just as they were arguing, the glow sticks ran out of battery and went dark. Realizing they couldn't go on like this, David left one glow stick on for lighting, but then something even worse happened. A flock of crows suddenly swooped down at the cable car as if they had lost their minds.